So I made a 35-minute long video trying to explain put options and why I think that people should strategically use put options to pretty much drive the price down on companies that they don't agree with the sentiment towards, and that people with the power of numbers can essentially decide, hey, if your company is going to put all of their money inside of this theoretical market, then theoretically you don't deserve any of our actual money. In fact, I think that you deserve a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of the theoretical money, which will affect your actual money. But I will explain put options, of course, because I just want to get the info out there. These aren't actual representations of the, how, if you go on the market, you are going to see this exact number with this exact thing and this exact jank. I'm using this for formula purposes. Stock costs $10. You state that jank goes to $12.50. I just wrote down a fractional jank. That's the jump. You state that by July 26th, it's gonna go up to $12.50. You're agreeing to state that at least, because it's a theoretical number, it theoretically could go up at any point. It can go up higher than $12.50. Something could happen. News can occur. Good news can occur. I wanted to talk about specifically good news and bad news on the stock market. Understand, this is a theoretical market made by really rich people. Rich people are crazy. Rich people do not like you. So understand, good news is bad news is good news. That doesn't make any sense. Let me explain. You hire a bunch of workers, right? You hire a bunch of workers. That might look good short term in terms of advertisement. So you might get a stock pop because companies and random entities with larger pools of money, because retail investors only make up 1% of the stock market, they are capitalizing. But long term, the stock is going to go down. Why? Because, the revenue isn't that high. Why is the revenue that high? Because you had to pay for more employees. Why did you have to pay for more employees? What do you have to pay for? Insurance. Insurance costs money. Understand, the bare bones of business in the model that they teach to these people is very militant. Usually the people that are economists and stuff like that are engaging with it, it's just different levels of the military. In terms of the idea set, is stripping the autonomy of what the fuck you're actually doing. Or at least the engagement of it is, you are to be docile and is served as an obedient unit. And whoever is running the unit has the coalition and the cohesiveness of a group of people that are okay with whatever the company end goal is. It really touches some pain. It touches some real pain. And they're crazy. So, yeah, that's the call option, put option, inverse. So you can go and state, instead, I don't think it's gonna go higher than $10. I think it's gonna go at least to $8 by the exact same date. It's the polar opposite. So this person right here, right, is agreeing to that. You are agreeing to this, right? They're agreeing for it to go up, you're agreeing for it to go down, but you guys are both getting it at the exact same price point, which is that price point. If it theoretically goes down, however much money they lose goes to you. That was the GameStop saga. That was the GameStop saga. The stock went up because people all agreed, yo, we're gonna just buy in whatever capacity. We're going to buy, of course, this out of the best regards to make as much money. But some people weren't even thinking, oh yeah, let me buy to get to a point. I'm just buying. Because buy means stock go up. Because these things are all theories that run off of bare bones concepts. Understand that. When they say good news, bad news, when I say, my fault, when I say good news is bad news and bad news is good news, check this out. When you capture people, you get a government grant. That means you are getting a stable amount of money from the government. That means you're getting a stable amount of money inflow. That's good news. You got money inflow. That's the bare bones of it. You got cash. When you receive money, that is money. When you don't spend money, you don't spend money. So when you cut jobs, that makes money. Because you're not losing money. You're not losing money by not paying for people to be there anymore. So theoretically speaking, if I can maximize however much of the thing that I'm doing while extensively taking measures to not spend money out, I can advertise this to a group of people under the guise that this is a profitable business model, so you should give me even more money to do this even better, and create other entities to float theoretical money around, a part of those. That's the stock market. It's a theoretical on a theoretical, because all these motherfuckers is just money laundering. It makes no sense. You are right. I'm trying to reinstill that. It doesn't make sense and it feels anxious because it's silly. It was meant to be silly because these people are not normal. The people at the top are not normal. So when you hear stories about people that are like not even at the top, they're just like allowed to be in front of you, right? Yeah, no, they're crazy. So it's like, if they're not even getting stopped, the people that are making just as much money as them, if not more money that you don't know about, are still in community with these people because they don't want them to be stopped because they're making them a lot of money. Or they made them a lot of money. Or they have something that's direct association with each other that may directly affect their business model. So the death of them would be the death of their company. So they would have to find a way or means of expanding their company into a different means and modes. It's a huge RICO. It's a RICO. Oh, why does insert random company own like every single television station? Yeah, because it's a RICO, bro. A couple of them companies actually doing some crazy stuff. Some of them might not be doing crazy stuff, but enough of them that are actually making the money are doing crazy stuff, and they might be expanding it upon different chains, but they doing something crazy at the end of the day because they don't like you. In fact, they'll promote it to you. They'll tell you about it. They'll tell you how much they don't like you. They'll write paperwork. They'll write books about it. And when I mean by you, I mean you. It's not a race thing. It's not a gender thing. It is a race thing. It is a gender thing. That's what's scary. Like, they understand that is a vassal. Like, understand, they don't like you because you are you. People don't know how to make that connection. It's like, yeah, they hate women. They hate people of color. They hate like dogs. They hate cats. They hate animals. They hate you, white man. They hate you, white woman. They hate you, person that makes money but not making as much money as them. They don't care. They don't like you. They don't like you. They will incentivize whatever means to an end because they know it's profitable. So They understand that. Why would they like you? They hate you. They hate you. And they will utilize people that hate you. So let's start attacking these stocks. Let's get these stocks down. You know what I'm saying? Let's start, yeah, I get cool boycott companies. Yes, that is important. Let's do that. But I haven't seen anybody actually go into the stock market and address that. You know what I'm saying? These are theoretical numbers. Theoretically speaking, we can say that they're not worth as much as what they were. So then they got to show their true colors the same way that they did inside of the GameStop stock. Because that wasn't the first time. People don't actually the in-depth about that GameStop saga. I had engaged with it. I had made money off of the stock. I'm probably going to have to I don't think it really matters in terms of fuck it, I might show the Jane. But they colluded together and stopped people from being able to put trade options on the stock. Because that's the theoretical buying pressure that goes up. They stopped people from being able to literally buy the stock. You couldn't buy the stock. You could only sell it. They did that before inside of the stock market. This is what they do. The stock was low because theoretically a bunch of people just agreed, hey, I read a bunch of stuff. Honestly, forget reading. I just don't think that J's worth money. And they'll have a put option on it. Or they boys will have a put option on it. Or they'll be a part of a hedge fund. Do you know what hedging means? Hedge funds, literal business inception is just, we just don't think that this company really touching that type of bread. They just walking up, just doing chain tests. But they rigged the jank because they're being funded by the same exact secular group of really rich people. So of course they would, hypothetically speaking, be incentivized to putting a lot of money in opposition to companies that aren't in the in group. But humans, us people, have more numbers. 99% of the money that is floating is theoretical money. But the way the buying pressure was for the GME stock hurt hedge funds because they agreed to buy this stock saying that it was going to hit $8, but they bought the same stock at 15, but they said it was going to go lower. We could take the chains off, take that chain from 20, take that chain to 35. We could take that chain to 50. They're paying for all of that. That's why they shut the stock down, because they had to pay money. Everybody just collectively decides, I'm putting bread towards, I got myself a little bit of bread, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got a lot of money, but I read about the fact that this company right here, that's a startup, that's trying to, you know what I'm saying, do this specific J, and it's open up IPO wise, that's doing this, that, and so forth. They gonna start taking away trade options. I'm gonna be honest with you. They gonna start restricting it to rich people. But they was gonna start doing that anyway, bro. They was gonna start doing that anyway. It's already happening. You can't put trade options down unless it's in the triple 300s, 400s. We start finding out about these companies. We start doing our homework about what these companies are about, what the heck that they're doing, and what the heck they're advertising. And we say, you're saying that James worth $15. Actually, it's not even worth $15. It's worth $1. It's worth $1. We all agree it's worth $1. And in fact, we think it's lower than that. And if everybody continues to agree, while that James had $15, $16, and then it goes from $17 to $14 to $9 to $8, everybody's getting bread off of their demise. And then they have to start closing down stuff. They have to start firing staff because they're not getting that inflow of money. People are not going to want to have their products inside of stores because economists overall don't care. They view you as numbers. They hate you. We can start addressing that issue with specifically stopping them from bilaterally helping out people that want to be in community with them, and then passing legislation that stops them from getting power to the point where they can greenlight whoever the heck they feel like. That should be a decision that they are deciding for the collective group of people, because when there's enough money located inside of the diaspora gang, it don't matter about what other people think. 100 people not gonna be inside of that yacht. Only like 20 people fit up there. Or if they want 100 people on the yacht, cool, they're gonna have to pay them. Or they're gonna have to agree that it's cool that 100 people died in order for that yacht to be up there. They're gonna have to be chill with it. They're gonna have to know what this lifestyle entails. And we want people. So please, that's my thing. We can do that. Let's do that. Yes, all of these other things are very important. But let's also hit them with a, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, some stocks. I'm not gonna say some stocks, because if you remember the GME saga, they started applying lawsuits to that man. Yeah. All because he was like, yo, I specifically believe this specific stock. But I'm just pulling the CNBC right now. I'm saying sectors. I'm not even gonna tell you sectors. I'm gonna tell you to go online and look up these companies. They have an IPO. You can find their stock. You know the information now. Go through and find them break-even points, whatever you can specifically afford. On top of not investing inside of these companies that are starting up, that are advertising themselves, that are omitting this information from you, but you can start affecting these companies now. They're gonna start doing, whatchamacallit, stock breakdowns, because that's another thing that they do too. These fractions of a fractions of a fractions of a stock. These only benefit people that have a lot of stocks. These fractional splits, when these stocks go from like $1,000 to $100, what that means is that 100 stocks just converted into one stock. So they still got 5 million of real money inside that J, but they just essentially just, instead of their 5 million stocks now being worth 5 million stocks, they now technically have $10 million worth of stocks, because they just got an extra amount, right? This is the point of the stock split, is to get more people to spend more money on the stock. We realize that our stock hit $1,000. We're not getting enough buying pressure because you don't have $1,000. Okay, well, the people that are already made their money are just holding on just to hold on. So to incentivize them to hold on, we're gonna tell them that the hypothetically speaking 1,000 stocks that they own is now 2,000 stocks. And more people can now go into this stock and buy it and increase it up. Their 5 million is still in that, Gene. It's just that 5 million is now worth a theoretical higher number. And then they hold it, and then they wait, and then they do a stock split, and then they bring it back down, and then they get more people to load up on board, and a bunch of people get their money up, and then the people that were already there are making way more money, and they're incentivized to keep on holding it. You can attack these companies. Let's get it.